Okay, so welcome back to our detox Zoom meeting. And this was supposed to be the last Zoom meeting. To be honest with you, we are ready to increase our dosage. If you have not done so, please do so because we have until next week. And next week, next Tuesday will be our last meeting. So if you have any questions, concerns, you don't know what to do after that, like I'm here to guide you. You should literally think about what your next step should be. For those of you that are part of our programs, you already know the transition, from detox to whatever program you're in, whether it's the weight loss program or the hormone program or the gut program. Um, you know how to get into that. If you are one of our past patients who's doing this, I'm gonna have you muted, Donna. Can you mute yourself for me? If you are one of our past patient who's doing this detox just as a maintenance, again, you can go back to your old recipes. Just again, you can reintroduce poultry or meat minus, we don't want to do pork, we don't want to do beef. You can reintroduce. I highly recommend, which I'll talk about next week as well, but I highly recommend you introduce ground meat, right? We don't want to go from not eating meat at all to a big piece of chicken. So you want to reintroduce ground chicken, ground turkey. You can do scallop is a great way to reintroduce meat into your life. Um, Sea bass is really good, right? We don't do tilapia. I would say salmon, but I'm not a big salmon eater. I feel like salmon sometimes it's doesn't have that much nutrients. So, but you can reintroduce meat as of next week. You all should be finishing with the products, okay? If you have not, now you're doing great. Again, I'm getting great feedback from patients. People are losing weight, energy is good, hormones are balanced. It's gonna be different for all of us, right? We cannot compare ourselves, but I'm happy to hear that nobody's like dying from this. The D word, we don't like the D word. That you are maintaining and you taking this opportunity to learn. You have a question, Dana?
Yeah, if we're gonna be doing it twice a day, I don't think I have enough binder.
Right. The binder is 20. You should have 20 in that box. So we started with one binder per day. So
Right.
because
Go ahead.
the way I structured this detox, I started very slow and then we increased. Many of you guys will be out of your products by the end of next week. That's why we're doing the celebratory meeting next week to kind of guide you. But if you finish your products, you finish your products. The goal is for you to finish all the products. Because in the past, people will
So
have
is it
leftovers.
better to is it better to do it twice a day and finish sooner, or to continue once a day and have it extend more days?
There's no wrong or right answer as long as you finish the products. If your body can tolerate doing it twice a day and finish sooner, great. Then you can just continue with the meal plan and think about what next steps should be. But if
Okay.
your body's like, oh, it's still too much and I'm not ready to up it, then continue with what you're doing. With Marianne, she started way before you guys, and she's doing fantastic, except for today, according to her post. I don't know if she upped it. I have to ask if she increased her dosage, but she's gonna finish her products way before any of you because she started
Okay.
way before. Yeah, I just listen to your body. For me, I like to get things over with. We increase it. If you like the flow that you have right now, you like the routine, so I would say just keep it the way it is. Okay, so before we get
Okay.
started,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I wanted to share with you any upcoming challenges. I know yesterday we did the juice. Oh my God, that I don't know about you. I'm in love with this content. No, I'm gonna do. I'm sharing my screen differently. Challenges. All right, we can do that after we talk about the challenges. Okay, so as with many of my group detox, I like to discuss a specific topic, and Marianne sent a message. She said, Dr. Genty, can you talk about autoimmune? Now, I'm going to put my spin on it. Again, this is not the only information you're probably going to hear or see online, but I feel like I am in a position to talk to you guys about this because I feel like conventional medicine is doing us a disservice by not identifying the root cause of autoimmune. Many of us have those fancy autoimmune names. We don't know how we got them or what we should do with them. So I'm just gonna tell you exactly what I see. Again, I'm different. Take it or leave it. Just do as you wish with this information. But because I've helped many autoimmune patients, like helped many autoimmune patients. I'm able to speak on this topic. We're gonna talk about what is autoimmune, what is it, and how can we address it? Because at the end of the day, I want us to really look at the solutions, not only the problem, right? Yes, I have autoimmune. I have all these crazy things over here, but how do I address it? What is the solution for these autoimmune conditions? Because since COVID, and I was talking to a patient before you guys earlier today, since COVID, autoimmune and cancer have been rising, increasing. Yes, we do have you know, hormonal imbalance, and I feel like hormonal imbalance should fall under autoimmune because it is a chronic condition. And once you have your hormones not balanced properly, that weakens your immune system. And a lot of autoimmune imbalance patients will get sick quick, easily. They have more gut infections, they have more risk for pathogenic activities, right? Because it's autoimmune. Estrogen and progesterone helps with immunity. We need those hormones to be balanced for immunity. If you have cortisol, right? Cortisol is a stress hormones. Cortisol, high stress hormones, cortisol weakens your immune system. That's why you're gonna see to the slides that patients with autoimmune, the minute they face with a lot of stress, those flare-ups, they get exacerbation, they get worse with the symptoms. Okay. So this is from Dr. Jency. I'm just gonna tell you what I think. And again, since many of you guys been in my world, you know how I feel about autoimmune. I think it's a lie, what they're telling us. And I want to shed some lights on it. When you think autoimmune, you think it's a scary word. Scary world. Again, we all face with autoimmune. Some of you guys have autoimmune, not even aware of it, like hair loss, alopecia is autoimmune, right? But again, we don't know it is autoimmune, do we? Celiac disease, all these gut issues, like gluten sensitivity. I eat this and I'm having stomach issues. I'm bloating all the time. I'm gassy. That's autoimmune. Diabetes is autoimmune. Why? Because it weakens your immune system. Diabetes is a systemic disease that affects every single organ in your body because of the inflammation. And the immune cells have to go fight those toxicants, aka carbs and sugar for diabetes, or increase insulin production because the insulin is not communicating with the carbs because your immune system is sensing we have a foreigner, something is off, there's inflammation, let's go fight it. So that's what we call autoimmune. And I'm sure all of you guys have heard of Hashimoto thyroiditis. It is very, very, popular, right? The thyroid issues, Graves' disease, right? Sjogren's disease. I have 2 patients in my practice with this. I saw one today. She's doing well. She's detoxing. All this tension, right? Temporal arthritis, that's autoimmune. IBD, Crohn's colitis, that's autoimmune. That is autoimmune. Whenever you have inflammation that is taxing to your immune system, that's autoimmune. Scleroderma, autoimmune. Psoriasis, autoimmune, right? Can you see? Cancer now is autoimmune. Because these things, those fancy types of autoimmune, they are creating so much inflammation, weakening our immune system, and then we just feel awful. Okay? There are more than 80 types of autoimmune diseases out there. I have a patient who's in the detox program as well. She has bird eye issues. That's also autoimmune. We're working on improving her vision, decreasing the blur. She's doing well. She's doing well. We are decreasing her steroids. That's autoimmune. She's seeing a specialist for these eye issues. That's autoimmune. Okay. So when you think about autoimmune, always think about inflammation weak immune system, and toxins. Three things: toxins, inflammation, immune system overdrive, autoimmune, right? Have you never noticed how you leave a particular location, you're driving home, and your mind is something else, you're thinking about a problem in the car, and you reach home without even knowing that you reach home, like you're on autopilot? That's how it is with autoimmune. Your immune system is on autopilot. It's like fighting, 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 fighting. Never took a break. We are fighting all day long. You have, you have, you have to address your immune system if you want to beat autoimmune. Okay, it's in the name. It's autoimmune. Okay, you got the idea. So, what are the tests that we do? We're gonna talk about that, like medical testing. I mean, functional, conventional medicine testing, and also functional medicine testing. But these are the things, right? ANA titer, SED-rate, you might do rheumatoid factors, you might do CCP. There's so many tests that you can do for autoimmune depending on the condition, right? If you have colitis, Crohn's and colitis, you might do a calprotectin, which is a stool test to see if you have inflammations in the stool. Scoping, like, a scope, whether it is a colonoscopy or endoscopy. You, again, so many imaging testing you can do, MRI, X-rays, depending on the location of the autoimmune. But one thing I want you to realize when it comes to autoimmune, you might start with one particular location because your immune system is so busy fighting in that particular location. Whatever you have going on somewhere else will weaken the immune system, and that section of your body will also be affected. For instance, if you are, say you have colitis, right, gut issues, you have bloody diarrhea, and you have loose stools, like you have stomach issues all of the time, everything hurts, right? Over time, you're gonna start having brain issue. You're gonna start having anxiety. Why? Because those toxins are leaking into your bloodstream and they are traveling all over your body. So you start, just like with diabetes, right? Diabetes, your pancreas is producing a lot of insulin. The insulin is not communicating with the carbohydrates. We need carbs for energy. So the insulin kind of hold on to the carbs. It's like, hello, carbs, let me take you to the playground. So enter helps the carbs. Sugar is a carb, like processed food is a carb, bread is a carb, pasta is a carb, like even potatoes are carbs, starchy carbs. So kind of hold on to the carbs and bring it into the cells for energy. When there's a disconnect, the pancreas is sensing there's a lot of carbs. The pancreas is like, okay, we need to produce more insulin, 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 insulin. So the pancreas keeps producing more insulin, but there's no connection. The insulin is searching for the carbs, like, where are you? We need to go into the cells. And that's how you have insulin resistance. Now, with diabetes, I'm using diabetes because we all know someone with diabetes. Over time, people with unmanaged, uncontrolled diabetes will start having kidney issues, hemodialysis, eye issues. They start having neuropathy, nerve issues. That's why we have diabetic neuropathy, right? They start having so many other issues. But guess what? They didn't stop with those issues to begin with. Those issues just becoming. So autoimmune means your immune system is constantly fighting. And a lot of people have autoimmune, they are not being diagnosed properly. So when I used to practice in the conventional world, which was many years ago, I used to tell my patients, oh, you have any of these autoimmune. You have rheumatoid arthritis, you have multiple sclerosis, you have lupus, you have celiac. Any of these things, guess what? Your body's attacking itself. That's what I used to tell my patients. It's like, oh no, we gotta kill your immune system. We gotta put your immune system to sleep. Why? Because your body's attacking itself. So the conventional definition of autoimmune is this, right? Your body's attacking itself, is attacking the tissues, attacking the organ, is destroying all the good healthy tissues, right? So therefore, you have an autoimmune. You're gonna live with it forever. There's no solution. We don't know why. Like, what is the cause? Unknown. How many times you ask a doctor this question? They'd be like, I don't know. It's unknown. Maybe genetic. That's right. That's right. My mom had lupus, MS. I must have it. Nonsense, right? Abnormal growth. It's issues. It's not. the truth. Your body is not attacking itself. Why will your body attack itself? Why? I would tell patients this because that's what I learned from the books, right? I went to school, I pay a lot of money. I end up with a student loan. So I'm like, I am going to tell them what I learned from the book. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, that is strange. Lupus, MS, why would that? To me, makes no sense. I am like, things have to make sense in my world, okay? Like, it has to make sense. Why is my body, what is happening? And then why is immune attached to auto? Immune system. Now, as I've been practicing functional medicine for 10 years now, this is the true definition of autoimmune. Okay? Your body is not attacking itself. Your body, louder. This is louder. This is last minute. Your body, hopefully that's the way you spell louder. Is that the way you spell louder? Okay, we got it. Here we go. Your body's screaming because it takes years for someone to have an autoimmune, right? If you are diagnosed with lupus, MS, or any immune, diabetes, even obesity now is autoimmune. Can you believe it? It's autoimmune. Alopecia, you're losing your hair. Takes years, years. But at the beginning of this autoimmune, your body was sending you signals, signs. It could be like tiredness, right? Like you're tired in the morning, you're sluggish. We have a busy life. We drink the coffee, we unstimulant, right? And then at 3 o'clock, we crash. So autoimmune, my definition is your body literally trying to slow you down, screaming at you because we've been ignoring those signals. Your body's always communicating with you. Allergies are coming in, we're exposed to mold. There are so many factors. We're gonna go over the true causes of autoimmune, right? We're not paying attention to. We don't even know that we have mold. Many of us have mold, we don't know. Like we don't know we have mold because we think we have to see a water damage building. We have to live in a musty basement. Lies. You get mold from apples, from grains, from wheat, from oatmeal. Ooh, moldy coffee. We don't know. So these things are the things that are constantly activating the immune system. And now you find your immune system fighting all of the time. Okay, it's like you working 24 hours, 7 days a week. You never got time, never take a break to rest. You don't sleep. That's your immune system. You don't sleep at all. And the facility that you work at doesn't really take care of you. They don't feed you. They don't give you enough hydration. And then all the toxins are coming in. You're just in a unhospitable environment, not conducive for healing. That's what autoimmune is. So if you go to your doctor and your doctor is saying, hey, your body's attacking itself, I want you to ask them, why? I have lupus, like Sjogren's disease. I have like whatever, my body. Why? Why is my body attacking itself? I don't understand. Now, can you please explain to me? And they will tell you, I don't know. Unknown. Maybe you get it from your mother. Maybe you get it from your father. No, this is how we get autoimmune. Immune system fighting 24 hours, 7 days a week without taking a break. Immune cells are dying because there's so much internally at the cellular level, right? All this silent dormant infection, the Coxsackie, the parvovirus, the cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, mold, toxicity, stress, right? We mentioned cortisol decreases and weakens your immune system. And then these are the most frequent side effects, symptoms that autoimmune patients experience. You feel inflamed. Yep, you cannot lose the weight. Your joints are inflamed, they are red, they are swollen, they are painful, right? Like your thyroid is inflamed, producing tons of antibodies, and your body cannot keep up. This is what it is. The body's cells, and the blood cells, sorry, the blood cells in the body's immune system is there to protect us against harmful substances. And it could be from, toxins from the bacteria, toxins from the viruses, toxins from the mold, toxins from the candida, from the yeast, right? Toxins from the environment, toxins from the water, the personal care products. And then as the immune system is sensing these things because you weren't born with them, are in your body, they are producing antibodies. That's why when we test you for autoimmune, we always testing for antibody, any titer and pattern. We're looking at inflammatory markers, right? Your SED rate, your homocysteines. We're looking at tumor markers, etc. So in functional medicine, we do all that plus a hormone imbalance test, all the antibodies, right? We do gut infections. So when you look at your Coxsackie, we're looking at IgG, IgM, Epstein-Barr virus, nuclear antigen. So your body creates antibodies. The immune cells are telling your body to create antibodies as a helper. It's like, please, please, we need help over here. We're dying. Like it's like terrorists, right? Insulin. So we have to do a toxicity panel. With the toxicity panel, that's the vibrant test. Many of you guys are, aware of. That's where we check the mold exposure, the heavy metal toxicity, the environmental toxicity. Gut panel, again, cytomegalovirus, yeast, candida, parvovirus. A lot of us have gut issues. And guess where 80% of the immune system is? In the gut. You cannot not check a gut panel if you're trying to fix your autoimmune. It's like I don't know. Like I'm like, why can't we like no. A micronutrient test for a few selective patients to tell you your deficiencies in terms of vitamin C, your vitamin A, B, C, D, E, glutathione, zinc, right? All the B's, B1, B2, B3. So this is optional. We used to do that a lot. So that's what we do. We also journal. What are we journaling? The stress level. What's causing your stress? What are your stressors? What's causing the stress in your life? The food. Do you get more gas and bloat when you eat grains? Do you have food sensitivities? Because all these are adding up to your autoimmune, right? Like when you eat dairy, how do you feel? Do you see your brain fog more when you eat certain food? So we journal. This is all part of the testing that we do. Your lifestyle, right? Like, are you not sleeping properly? Do you have a toxic job that you hate going to every day? Do you have a boss that is very verbally abusive to you, yelling and screaming at you, belittling you? So these are your personal care products. What toothpaste do you use? What deodorant that you use? Because all these enters your skin to your pores, into your bloodstream, right? And that's collecting toxins in the liver. It's like, oh my God, this is too much. I quit. Well, this is too much. Like, this is a lot of work you're putting me through. And you don't even give me some TLC over here. So I don't know. Medications, over-the-counter meds, the Tylenol that we used to take, the ibuprofen. All these are toxins. They add to your autoimmune. A lot of autoimmunes are from medications. A lot of autoimmunes. How do we fix it? Well, here we go. Conventional. Again, immunosuppressant. Let's kill your immune system, put it to sleep. But before we do that, we have to test you for tuberculosis. And we also have to tell you some of these medications can damage your liver, right? Like the fine point, your kidney may damage your kidneys. These medications would definitely mess up your gut. But guess what? We need to give it to you because you have autoimmune, like Placanil, right? MS, Placanil. These are powerful meds, steroids, weight gain, weakens your bone with steroids. Like literally so toxic to your body. Painkillers for all my RA patients, right? It's painful. I need relief. So this is how we treat, and this is how we do it in functional medicine. First, we identify the root cause, all the things I just mentioned here, all of these, you gotta do all of these, all of these. And then we detox. Ta-da! We're gonna get rid of some of the toxins. Detoxification all of the time. And then we give you herbs to boost your immune system, inflammation, boosting herbs, because we have to decrease the inflammation, decrease the stress on your cells, increase your immune system so that your soldiers can be strong and fight for you. And then for pain, we have natural herbs for sure, right? And then if you have hormonal imbalance, we balance your hormones, we manage your stress. Stress management is huge when it comes to autoimmune. Like this is the number one thing. But we won't know until we test your cortisol level, right? That's the hormone balance. When you do the saliva, it gives me cortisol levels for morning, afternoon, lunch, night. So I'm able to pinpoint which which part of your days your adrenals are producing more cortisol. Or do you have adrenal fatigue? Your adrenals are like dead. They're like, I can't produce any more cortisol, low level, low level. So we need to revive those two glands that sit on top of your kidneys. And then we never forget healthy diet, right? There are some food I highly recommend for all my autoimmune patients. We're gonna discuss that. So this is how we fix it. Very easy. Um, Marion also wanted for me to say a few things about neuropathy. Neuropathy, nerve pain. Your nerves are where? In your spinal cord, right? You have nerves in your spinal cord. Every single patient with MS have Epstein-Barr virus. 100% of the time. If you have MS, I guarantee you, and I bet any type of money you have EBV. Those Epstein-Barr virus are housed or localized, like damaging your nerves. But we have to think about neurotoxicity, right? We don't think about neurotoxicity when it comes to neuropathy. How do we get these things into our bodies? Pins and needles, numbness, tingling, diabetes, numbness, tingling, peripheral neuropathy, nerves like herniated disc, numbness and tingling. Like how? Nerves, nerve pain. These toxins are irritating your nerve. They are eating at the myelin sheets of your nerve. Think about toxicity. Think about toxicity. Now we're going to talk about herbs and food, right? These are the herbs I highly recommend. Some of you guys are very familiar with this. Turmeric, right? I did a video, I posted in the group where I get my turmeric. Like you can use the fresh one, you can juice it, or you can also, purchase the powder. Fresh is always good. We're always gonna do fresh turmeric. We don't wanna, if you can, but the powder is also available to you. Coridalis is the one that I use the most when it comes to autoimmune because not only soothing to your joints and also your muscles, it helps with body discomfort. So every single autoimmune of patients of mine, they get something for inflammation, they get something for pain, natural pain. Because with the inflammation, you're gonna have a lot of pain, right? And turmeric, again, when you think about autoimmune, think about inflammation, immune. Inflammation, immune. You need to address those three things: toxins, inflammation, immune. When you do that, then the pain is gonna be less. You're gonna lose weight. Things gonna restore, right? So white peony, that's another herbs that we use that is muscle relaxant. It's really good for autoimmune, right? And then we can't forget the mushrooms. I know we use Ganoderma, reishi mushroom in our coffee, but this is the one that I use the most for autoimmune. Again, it's in the herbal concussion that we give our patients. I want you to think about herbs for stress management. Now, you can use ashwagandha, but I found for the patients that I help, ashwagandha is not that powerful, if I'm being honest with you. Like, we need powerful stress management herbs, like these things, Chinese herbs, these, poya, like very powerful, okay? For autoimmune, for anybody that has all these conditions here. These herbs will do wonders. IBD, irritable bowel disease, Crohn's and colitis, psoriasis, all skin conditions, right? We need to do those herbs. So these are the herbs I highly recommend. Of course, there are so many, so many herbal concussion out there. I mean, this is not these four are not the only ones. There are so many, so many, so many. But again, these are the ones that I look for the most when I'm prescribing or recommending herbs. I want my herbal concussion has, if not four, at least three. Because again, for all the benefits, at least three. Now, when it comes to food, we need all the vitamins. But you guys know which vitamins you need the most. Vitamin C. Powerful, powerful antioxidant. Vitamin C is so powerful. I, on purpose, intentionally make sure I have vitamin C in everything that I put into my body. Everything that I put, like whether I get it from my lemon or lime, right? I want vitamin C. I'm gonna show you a category of food that I want my autoimmune patients to eat the most. Like, when I say the autoimmune patients, I'm talking about the people that are coming to me with MS, that are actually about using a cane with poor coordination. I'm talking about lupus, systemic lupus, right? I'm talking about like powerful Hashimoto thyroiditis with TSH elevated, antibodies elevated. So I want them to really focus on those foods. We're going to talk about that next. Ginger, I don't know if you want to decrease them, but these are the things that you can implement today, right? These are things that you can actually look for in your food. Zinc, iron, right minerals, immune. Remember, autoimmune, toxins, inflammation, immune. Those three things you need to address if you want to beat your autoimmune. I don't care what autoimmune you have, who diagnosed you, what test, autoimmune, right? Autoimmune. Your immune system is in overdrive. It's working 24 hours, 7 days a week without a break. And it's the immune cells are tired. They are exhausted. They're like, please help me. I can't keep up. But ginger is really good for all things bacteria. Ginger. Like we should put ginger. I put ginger in all my juices. I put ginger in everything. Period. These are the food. Garlic. It's funny you have garlic here. Okay, garlic and everything. If you can eat garlic, chew on it. Like somebody that I know who's here. Garlic is very powerful. I always ask my patients to think about old remedies. You don't have to throw money at everything, right? There are things you can purchase right there when you walk into the Whole Foods. When you walk into a supermarket, the first section you're exposed to is the produce section. Produce, right? You're not exposed to the bread and the pasta section. You are exposed, that's the first exposure when you walk into the supermarket. What is that? What is that telling us? We need to eat more grains. All the grains. I mean, I'm not gonna break down the grains, like all of the grains. All the berries. These are given. We all should be eating all the berries. All of the berries. All of the greens. So these are some sources of vitamin C. There are two things that I really look for when it comes to my autoimmune patients. And you're gonna see a pattern here. Garlic, I mean, I don't know. If you have a cold, you don't eat garlic. If you have stomach issues, get you some garlic, put garlic in hot water and add some cloves. You're gonna do wonders. The stomach pain is gonna go away. If you have stomach pain, garlic, hot water, let it steam, let it sit. You can put a slice of lemon in that water and then those cloves, like those dark cloves, let it sit and then apply some warm heat to your stomach and you drink that tea. I'm telling you, that is my secret sauce to all stomach pain. After eating a whole cake on my birthday, I'm suffering. That's what I do, garlic. Kiwis, right? We all heard kiwis has vitamin C, but again, after berries, you can do kiwis. Guava, oof. This is one of those fruit, tropical fruit that is seasonal. If you can get your hand on some guava, oh my Lord, like it's sweet and it's tart. It is has so much vitamin, more vitamin C than oranges and peppers. Fibers, right? We need fiber. Goji berries. Goji berries is really good for hormones too. I got a whole bag of dry goji berries, organic goji berries that I pop as a snack, right? Amla, aka gooseberry, so good for autoimmune and all inflammation. So all these things should be implemented for all diseases, not just autoimmune, right? But since we're talking about autoimmune, we're using autoimmune. Pomegranate, if you guys know, you know I love pomegranate. I can't wait for them to be in season. When they are in season, I eat one pomegranate a day. Not the juice, because many of those juice have sugar in them. Like the fruit with the seeds. I love it. My son likes it. My daughter loves it. Pomegranate is like a nutritional gold, I call it. It's so good for your immune system. It's so good for your nerves. It has reduces inflammation. It's good for your gut. It's like a superfruit, but you can only get it in season when it's in season.
Yeah, how are you? I'm good, and yourself?
All
Me
right,
doing
I'll
good.
mute
Thank you so
yourself.
much for giving us a couple minutes Dr. Anderson. Really, really appreciate your
Your
time.
body working. How do I mute you?
If you really quick.
Okay, thank you. She's muted. Okay, dragon fruit. How many of us know about dragon fruit? Exotic, antioxidant, tons of fiber. It's really good for blood levels, right? And then you can eat 2 to 3 per day. That's all I would recommend. With guava every day if you can. And that's why those centenaries, they live in a tropical, location of the world. They have access to all these things. That's why they don't get sick. They live to be 107. The goal when it comes to autoimmune is to decrease inflammation, boost your immune system, and healing will take place. When they give you those powerful medications, what are they doing? They are decreasing the inflammation but killing your immune system. That's why they tell you you might get sick, right? Like infections with these powerful medications, right? Plaquenil, methotrexate, Imuran. Ugh, I had a patient on this. That was so hard on his poor body. That was Remigade, right? Oh my, Humira, like Humira. We know about Humira. So food, these are the food that I think many of us are not considering when it comes to autoimmune. But if you can incorporate this, you can juice with them, you can add them to your fruit smoothie bowls, strawberries. I have to tell you, I eat a lot of these foods. I would literally go to the Indian store and purchase my guava. I will go down in East Orange, well, not me. My fiance will go down in East Orange and purchase guava because it is an islander food. I don't see it here as much, but if you can get it, get it. Okay. Now, when it comes to vitamin C, because I had a conversation with the patients, like, oh, I get plenty of vitamin C. I drink orange juice. I'm like, okay, no. So I want you to consider 4 foods that have more vitamin C than orange. We never want to we use orange as pick me up because of the sugar, right? I will put orange in my juicing because I want that carbs to produce energy. Remember, carbohydrate goes into the cell and help us with energy. But that's the only reason why I use orange. There's vitamin C it's a lie. If you can get this, the Indian store has, amla, there's amla powder. I used to use this when I used to be natural for my hair, to grow my hair, and my hair was growing. But these are the foods you should consider when it comes to autoimmune. Of course, you should eat all the berries. You should eat all the grains, minus spinach. We don't do too much spinach, right? All the grains. You should do all the vegetables. You should juice. You should do smooth, like everything we're doing now, we should do all of that. And then we add. I have papaya. In my culture, we have this Haitian legume that we make with spinach. We always add papaya in that. But of course, the heat kind of destroys it because it's too hot, right? The heat just kills the food all of the time. But these are the things you can eat. But if you can get your hands on these two, like Maryland, juice peppers, like yellow peppers, all the peppers, juice them. You will get vitamin C more than orange. And it is easier, the taste is easier with peppers. Okay? So I cannot drive this home. I mean, drive this home enough. I cannot say this enough. This is autoimmune right here. This is how you identify autoimmune. And this is how you fix autoimmune. We need to focus on inflammation because every single autoimmune patients are inflamed. Even non-autoimmune patients are inflamed. We all have immune always get sick. They always have a cold. There's always, a respiratory situation going on, some urinary tract infection going on. Like every little germs they get because the immune system is too busy fighting. The immune system is too busy fighting these things right here, right? Your body's producing antibodies. So when we check your autoimmune, we're checking any titer and pattern, we're checking for antibodies. When we check your thyroid, we're checking for antibodies. Right? When we check for calprotectin, we're checking for antibodies. So antibodies is the thing that your body produces in the presence of an antigen for it to get help from you. Okay? So I'm making this very simple because I don't want you to think it's complex though, right? Like as a practitioner, I was told to tell patients that you have lupus, you're gonna have lupus forever, you're gonna die with lupus. Lie. You have MS, oh my God, you're gonna end up in a wheelchair, right? That's a lie. You will end up with a wheelchair because of the side effects of this medication. Just like cancer doesn't kill people, chemotherapy, treatments, radiations, all those drugs are the things that's affecting people's health. People that takes no and like do not undergo cancer treatments, they do way better than doing the ones that are receiving chemotherapy. So if you have autoimmune, alopecia, right? Like patches you lose in your hair, gut infections, always, 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 always gut infections, right? It has to start from somewhere. So that's why I mentioned earlier today, you can have autoimmune in one specific part of your body, one specific organ, because your body is one machine, everything's connected. Other parts of your body will be affected. It's like you're driving a flat tire. One tire is flat, one flat tire. You're like, oh, I just keep putting air, right? And then you keep driving, you pull over to the next gas station, you put air. I'm trying to get to Florida. I'm going to keep driving. Over time, the other tire is going to compensate. Your other organs are compensating for this autoimmune situation. And then every organ will start getting affected from this. All right. So that's my take on autoimmune. I am going to stop the recording. We're going to answer some questions. But it is, when it comes to healing your body, again, this is coming from someone with years of knowledge. And sometimes I make it look easy and simple because it is easy and simple. I saw a patient today. We went over her vibrant test. She had a lot of mold. And she said, Dr. J, I love pasta. I love oat. I'm like, well, you're going to have to give them up. It's like, oh, it's so hard. I'm like, you know what's hard? You waking up every morning with fatigue. You're not living the life you are meant to live. That's hard, right? It's like making those changes. I know this seems hard. You have to decondition yourself, dismantling all the things you've learned. You have to have a different mindset. But what's hard is you going through pain every day. You're not feeling your best. Now, there's no perfect health, right? No, but you should really have a degree of health and wellness where you're like, okay, I felt better. You should have more better days than bad days. Like we have 7 days out of the week. 5 of those days should be good. And the other 2 could be struggle. But like 50-50. That's what I want for all of you. You should have better days than bad days. So if you're eating things and then diseases or not, you didn't go purchase autoimmune, you didn't go purchase obesity, you didn't go purchase any of these things that you have. You did not purchase them. This is years of things we do to our body unknowingly because we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. We didn't know. I didn't know like pizza was gonna affect my cholesterol because I love pepperoni. I love McDonald's food. When I was used to work at McDonald's, I used to get free food. McDonald's fries are the best. I love them, but not healthy. And I didn't know. I'm like, oh, I'm eating fries, right? Like, did not know. Over time, I eat more fries. I eat more fries. I'm like, oh, I'm sluggish. Oh my God, I can't lose the weight. Oh, my skin is acne on my skin. Oh, I'm having brain fog. I'm forgetful more now. Like, what is happening? Oh, my menstruals, my period is heavy. Like, over time, these things add up. And then you go to your doctor, they just say, oh, you have headaches? Here's sematriptan, right? Let me give you like a, topo for your headache. You have acid reflux? Oh, you have gastritis? Let me give you, let me give you Nexium. You have H. pylori. Let me give you the triple threat treatment, 2 antibiotic, 1 antacid. It's years. Like you don't know what you don't know. But when it comes to healing your body, it can be simpler if you're ready to put in the work and not look at it as a complex, right? You always have to turn a negative into a positive and just enjoy the journey. That's what I want for all of you guys. I know I have this. My test results are showing this. My imaging is showing this. Now, what is the solution? right? Because every single problem has a solution. Every single problem. There's no problem without a solution. There's no solution without a problem. If you have a problem, there's no solution, it's not a problem. Right? And you can't get a solution without a problem. It's like you have to have a problem. So with autoimmune, the immune system is attacking itself. Nonsense. That's a lie. This is attacking the immune system. The mold that we get from our blueberries we ate yesterday, the day before, we didn't see the mold, right? I go to Aldi and I purchase blackberry. One of them had mold. I'm like, ah, right? So hurry up and eat the fruit before it goes mold, grows on everything. The bread, remember back in the days, we used to have the bread in the fridge and it used to be moldy bread. And we just eat it. But again, back then we weren't exposed to all the toxicants in the environment. Back then healing was easier than it is now. Now it's a struggle. We have more information. It is the best time to heal your body because there's so much information. We can go into information overload. But until you identify the root cause, what's causing my autoimmune? It's always an infection. Like, I don't care what anybody says. You got to have an infection to have autoimmune. You got to have an allergens or toxicants to have an autoimmune. Is it mold? Is it Epstein-Barr virus? I don't know. I don't know. Find the root cause. Detox. You got to remove things before you add things. Focus on your immune system. Your immune system needs help. Decrease inflammation, right? Natural pain if you have pain. Stress management for sure with autoimmune. I have a patient right now. She has MS. She was doing so well. And then now she's into a busy season in her business. Now she's getting a flare up. There's no cure for anything. People ask me, what is the cure? I'm like, there's no cure. There's no cure because if you are doing something that something was giving you the results that you were loving, and you stop doing that something, over time, all the symptoms will come back. Diabetes. I used to eat rice. My hemoglobin A1C is elevated. My insulin is elevated. My glucose is elevated. I stopped eating rice. I am eating more quinoa now, more greens. I got tested. My numbers are down, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm cured. I'm going to go back to eating rice. Well, guess what? Your number is going to go up. That's the same thing with autoimmune. You have to make sure you focus on stress management, focus on healthy eating. All right, so that's it. 52. I'm going to stop the recording. And then we're going to answer some questions.